追新聞 YouTube 會籍開咗啦，歡迎加入會員撐起追新聞，多謝大家支持。
My organization, the Committee for Freedom in Hong Kong Foundation, has been working for more than 3 years now to try to secure the release of Jimmy Lai and the other political prisoners that are being held in Hong Kong. Some 1,000 prisoners are now actually in prison. Another 900 plus are charged with political crimes and are not actually in prison at the moment. So it's almost 2,000 Hong Kongers who we label as political prisoners. We would like to see them released, and we would like to move forward in a place where there's opportunity for Hong Kong to develop peacefully and where its people can live with the kind of freedom that they deserve. Here in London, I've met with parliamentarians, some people from think tanks. I attended last night the Magnitsky Awards, which are a wonderful program that rewards human rights defenders and people who defend freedom around the world. I met with the British government and with various news media and other people. I also testified twice in Parliament and to various settings. And through it all, my message was that the fate of Hong Kong and Jimmy Lai and the other people who are in prison is an important factor that needs to be remembered and worked on by the new government, and with the new government in Washington coming also in the near future. But I believe that the principal responsibility or opportunity, rather, for resolving this issue lies in London, because of the fact that Jimmy is a British citizen. There are many people in Hong Kong who are British citizens who have B&O passports still. And Hong Kong, the British government, of course, has the formal responsibility for the future of Hong Kong by virtue of the joint declaration to which the Chinese agreed during the handover, and of which they are now in violation because of the national security. My message has been pretty simple. We very much welcome the fact that Prime Minister Starmer has now stated that Jimmy Lai's case, and by extension Hong Kong, is a priority for his government. The foreign minister has said the same. He met Jimmy Lai in his initial meetings in China recently, and met with Sebastian Lai, Jimmy's son, a couple days ago. Those are all important steps forward in terms of the profile that this issue has in the United Kingdom and with the British government. So we very much welcome that. I've been encouraging the people that I spoke to build on that, to turn those statements into concrete reality, and to begin to find a way to have a serious discussion with the Chinese government about resolving this issue. Again, this is the same kind of approach that we will be taking with new authorities in the United States as they go about setting up a new government. We're now in a different situation in these days than we were in the recent past, because not only has the British Prime Minister said that this is an important issue for his government, but President-elect Trump also responded to a question about Hong Kong and Jimmy Lai, I think last week, by saying that he was aware of the situation and he would work to get Jimmy Lai out of prison. The administration is not in office yet, but we hope to work with them to ensure that concrete steps are taken. We have a very good working relationship with people in Washington, both in the Biden administration and in the Congress. We very much encouraged a bipartisan approach to Hong Kong and China in the Congress, and have welcomed the fact that that exists. I think we in Hong Kong will have friends in the new administration. Senator Rubio, who will become Secretary of State, has been a strong supporter of Hong Kong and democracy and freedom in Hong Kong, and has been an active participant in the Washington debate and discussion about measures that the United States can take to encourage the protection of Hong Kong's freedoms and to secure the release of political prisoners. And I hope and expect that will carry over into his role as Secretary of State, and we look forward to working with the Trump administration on this going ahead. This is not going to be easy, obviously. The Chinese are very resistant to even responding on this issue. But in my discussions here, there are a number of longer range, more complicated things that can be done by the British government and by other governments. We're also talking right away to many other governments in Canada, Australia, Berlin, the EU in Brussels, in Scandinavian countries, many places. Italy, we've had many discussions along the same lines. But there are two immediate things that can be done by the British government, which I have recommended to both the Parliament and to the Foreign Ministry. The first is that the Prime Minister should demand access to Jimmy Lai as a British citizen. Not what's called consular access, which they have asked for and has been denied. Consular access is a kind of technical, it's actually an obligation on the Chinese government, but it's a technical means of sending an embassy officer to visit with the prisoner to assure that the prisoner is not being mistreated, to offer, to help him or her get medical or legal assistance, things like that. That's been denied by the Hong Kong authorities. What we are asking is that the Prime Minister say, I don't want consular access, I want access. I want my foreign minister or ambassador to be able to meet with Jimmy Lai, a British citizen that nobody has been able to see for 4 years, who's being unjustly held in solitary confinement. The second immediate step that the British government could take would be to demand at the same time an end to his being held in solitary confinement. He's been in jail for almost 4 years. Most of that time he's been in solitary confinement. And not only is that a violation of international law, it is a barbaric standard of treatment for a 76-year-old man, and should be ended immediately. There's no justification for that. And these are both things that can be done if a political decision is taken to do it, and I hope it will. For the future going forward, we and many others will be working to secure cooperation of a range of governments along these same lines. We hope that the new American and British administrations and the European Union and others who are concerned about this will be coordinating and cooperating with each other as they are all relooking and reassessing how to balance the many complicated elements of their relationship with China. We hope that effort will be conducted in such a way that the principal Western actors in this, Western governments involved in this, will find a broad degree of consensus going forward, and that consensus will include the kind of discussions that I just outlined about Hong Kong and securing the release of political prisoners and securing an end to the kind of massive repression that's taking place in Hong Kong now. So I'll be working along these same lines when I get back to Washington. We have an office here in London and an office in Washington. Our London office handles our contacts in Europe and with the EU. And in Washington, we're working with the American government and the Canadian government. And we've developed a very good working relationship in all these places. So I'm hopeful going forward that we'll be able to take advantage of that to finally achieve results.